Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Happy Sunday, everyone. God bless you. And thank you for tuning in to this very special live presentation. This is Bunmi Moore here representing the amazing company MWR Financial. And today we are having a money conversation. You know what, guys? Let me tell you. Watch this entire video. In the light of all of the things that are going on in our society, one of the things that I've been talking to a lot of my peers about is how important money is, and how, as the Bible says, money answereth all things. And if a lot of people had more money, and if they knew what to do with it and they used it to raise themselves up economically, a lot of the ills that we see going on in society wouldn't necessarily be there. So we know money's not everything, but I say it's right up there with oxygen. So it's very, very vital to our existence. And so I have the privilege of being on here today with two great men who you have to hear from. The first one that I'm going to introduce, it's a pastor out of Baltimore, Dr. Kevin Barber. He and his wife, Shelly, are doing some great things in the Baltimore, Pimlico Park Heights area. That's where his church is. But of course, his ministry expands far beyond that. And so I wanted to bring this on because Dr. Kevin, I think as a spiritual leader, I want to applaud you for not being fearful and being out front with talking about money. The Bible speaks a lot about money and the importance of it. I believe that money allows us to reach out and to help others when we can't be there. Our money goes before us and allows us to help other people. The good things that we want to do on the earth takes resources. And so I know you have a personal testimony because as you have made the decision to get your financial house in order and help other people, some amazing things have happened to you recently that got you fired up and saying, hey, this is awesome. I got to tell the world about this. So I'm just going to swing it to you so you can get right into it and tell us about the recent financial blessing that has happened with your life. So over to you.
Okay, well, I was blessed by a good friend to be introduced to, hey, Dr. Durrell, how are you, sir? To be introduced to MWR. And MWR, it speaks for itself. It's such a great company, make wealth real. And through that, I have formed great relationships with my leaders, Terrence Hawkins, Bunmi Moore, and Dr. Durrell. And so with that being said, I was introduced and blessed with this opportunity. I was in a situation where I was with my church in Baltimore, being charged taxes on a housing allowance when I shouldn't have been charged taxes. And I'm not going to name any companies, but I was getting bad advice. And so, Terrence Hawkins, our leader, our overall leader, the thing about him is that his reputation precedes him, and he has a great tax company. He's an enroll agent with the IRS, and so he was able to help us, in short, save thousands of dollars. We actually got money back, and so I saw the value of the service right away. Got him on the phone, and I'll let him speak. I got him on the phone with my wife, Pastor Shelley, and we began to talk. And he began to give us such great advice. Understand that the consultation that you get with MWR is second to none. I saw the value of it with my church, not only with my church, but personally. And not only did we hire him to advise us in regards to the church, he is now our accountant and has been doing our taxes for about 2 years now. And so I'm going to bring him on because he's just so awesome. The MWR family is awesome. And we have just seen tremendous growth in our finances and getting advised on what to do and what not to do. So with that being said, Terrence, can you come on and talk to us about how you advised us?
Oh, man, I'm just excited. I'm excited to actually see things that work and to see people that's keeping more of their money. I mean, keeping
Yeah.
money, because I understand that if you are able to at least keep your money, you can do certain things with it. Individuals are working, I believe, right now, guys, too hard for the money that they are receiving. They are not
Yeah.
getting raises. They're not getting vacations. They've been furloughed. The downsides that they're not getting enough money to basically fight against inflation. And it's starting to actually to look at is like people need more net take home pay. Okay. Most individuals, if they got, 500 to $800 in additional income, we would have stopped a lot of things, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions and stuff. People just need some of
Yeah.
that extra. And what I'm happy to actually play a part of the membership of MWR Financial is all about, hey, let's help that cash flow out some. And it's like, let's stop the number one expense that's leaving your household right now. The number one expense that actually leaving this stuff. And I love to actually do the seminars at the church. Yeah, it's great. We already hear this stuff all the time. You're working on your debt, right? You got sometimes coming your credit. But a lot of
Yeah.
times, Pastor, we do not focus on that big expense of taxes. We
No,
don't
we don't.
on that. And and I can tell you a lot of times actually people have been trying to get out of debt for a long time, right? They've been trying
Right.
to get out of debt a
Yeah.
long time in your churches, and I love the education.
Yeah.
But the thing that I like that about what we try to actually do here MWR Financial is giving individuals not only the education, but also giving you the experts to implement what you're learning
Yes.
to
Yes.
implement what you're learning, because
Yeah.
yes, people have gotten to a certain part right now and they need some experts to help them out. Okay. So we go
Yeah.
in, try to, listen to you, see what we can actually
Yeah.
do. But also more importantly, now to educate you a little bit so you don't get in back in those same situations. And
Yes.
even the four categories: tax, credit, debt, and retirement. I'm so
Yeah.
happy that my firm, I'm a wife, myself, and our staff are able to help individuals like yourself and the other thousands of people around the country, with the
Yeah.
tax part of it, with the tax part of it. And what we did for you is kind of actually simple. We use the tax code.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah. And
but we did.
Terms, my wife was able to actually run with that tax code because when she was on the phone dealing with the company, she told them exactly where her enrolled agent with the IRS told her to tell them. And, quite naturally, we know that's you. And we felt so good. We felt like, we had some power. Wait a minute. We have an enrolled agent with the IRS. This is what he told us. That's not what. And so they, they began to retract on what they was trying to tell us. And before long, before we knew it, we were getting checks in the name of the church back from IRS, which was wonderful. And it went to our church account and really helped us.
Yeah, that's what God does, and the education actually does. It empowers you. It empowers you when you have knowledge and you know that you now can actually stand and say, no, here is what it really is. And then you have the backing of the experts there. It wasn't just a person telling you. It wasn't another church telling you. Somebody around the corner telling you, right?
Right.
You do have the experts, and that's the actual difference that we have and stuff, is really getting the actual experts as far as doing it. So I am excited that we was able to talk to you guys, you and actually Pastor Shirley and stuff, and be able to actually come up with a solution for you guys. But when I saw that, I was like, oh, wait a minute, hold on. And that's one of the things you actually get, because by doing the 3-year review that you actually get with your, your service and stuff, try to find out, hey, what's going on that you may not just know. We try to help you to, hey, you fill this out. Let's try to save you money. Let's do some tax before you going forward, save the money. That's what we're working on now, right? All the different as far as actually doing that. And that's what you did with your housing allowance. You were able to look at it, package it, get the money back from the past. And now going forward, you're able to be there, but also to make sure that you stay compliant,
Right. And you know what to do.
We can't have you on the news, Pastor.
No, because there's too many pastors on the news, and Lord have mercy, I don't want to be the next one. So I thank God for MWR having that. We say it in the church world, if we have an overseer or something like that over us, a top cover, just having that company there that we can pick up the phone at any time and get a consultation. On the member side, I've been able to plug a couple of my members into the service and get consultation for them for financial matters. One young lady in particular called me. She had a situation where she was trying to refinance her home and she didn't know what to do. And she called me as a spiritual leader. I was just so happy that I had an avenue that I could plug her in, a funnel, I would say, that I could plug her in the MWR and get her on a consultation. And they gave her excellent advice. And, you know, as a spiritual leader, that made me feel real good. And then if certain members would come and say, you know, they need help with credit, you know, I could point them in that direction, or retirement savings, you know, just so many things. Learning how to get out of debt and pay your debt down. Bunmi Moore would always say when we do our presentations down to the church, you know, if the members are, you know, they're financially healthy, then they have more to give to the work of the kingdom. And we know that the kingdom doesn't just run off of prayers. Amen. God wants to channel finances to the members so that he can get his work done. And the thing is that, you know, the members have to be in a position financially where they can be able to sow into the work of the Lord. And so with the pastors that are out there, you know, a lot of them, you know, they're ducking and dodging and not really doing things the right way, and wind up getting in trouble. But, you know, they don't have to get in trouble if they have a company that can represent them. And one thing I like about MWR, and I'm going to turn it back over to you, but MWR, the founder, we would be remiss if we didn't mention Brian House, the one who actually, along with yourself and many great other men and women, put this great company together. He's a man of God, so he has a heart beat for the church. He has a heartbeat for the kingdom, and, you know, wants to see all people of all races, all creeds prosper. And so that's what you have in MWR. I like to say this.
Okay, you froze on me, Pastor Barber. Froze on me. Well, I'm gonna have to go ahead and actually talk after a little bit until these sound actually come back. I like everything you're actually saying, especially actually with the church. And let's actually go there since you mentioned it. Let me go there for a second, okay? Because God, and I know you're talking to a lot of the pastors, and our heart, yes, it's for that. Mr. House always talk about it all the time. But if you look at it in the NIV, actually, version and stuff, and I'm going to talk about the actually tax part of it, you know, Romans 13:6-7. In Romans 13:6-7, it says, this is why, okay, you pay taxes, for the authorities are God's servants who give up their full time for governing. So if you owe taxes, pay taxes. And that's something actually for the church that I think is missed a lot, because it basically says, if you owe, then you pay. So I tell people, if you owe, you pay. Our job in good stewardship is to find out if we owe. It's to find out if we owe. Because if you really start to interpret that, you can also actually say that also means to be a good steward, if I do not owe, I should not pay.
Right.
If I do not owe, I should not pay. Therefore, once you actually understand how the tax code works, and then you implement those things in the tax code. That's why I always say the number one tax deduction is the home-based business. See, it's our job to be good stewards of the money that we are making. And we have certain things that we're supposed to keep more of our money. And if we say, hey, the best tax deduction is a home-based business, now you know. Okay?
Yes.
Now you know.
Yeah.
You start to implement that. And when you implement that, that means if you do not owe, you should not pay. How much more money are we able to keep into our house and give to the kingdom? That's what good stewardship is all about. So if you have a business, and if you have a child, and if we are actually teaching you, you have a child between the age of 7 and 17, if you're in that position, you can position yourself to not owe and be a good steward of the money.
Yes. So
we teach you and give you those things. It's time for us to basically keep our money, okay, that we have, because it's not our 100% of the money is whose. That's God's. He's given us instructions on what to.
Come on now.
See, you don't
preaching now.
You don't start me up. You don't start me up. It's our job now, basically, to say, hey, he's giving us instructions on what to do as good stewards with his 100%.
Yeah.
He's given instructions. The 10% we always talk about, okay, that's tied, that goes back to the storehouse, so I should do work, right?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
but
right.
Yes, oh no, man. He talked about that. He wanted us to invest our monies, right? Don't put it into the ground so that it can actually work. So he said, and for the most time, we kind of stopped there without looking at Romans 13, 6 and 7. If you do not owe, you should not pay. Which is, if I can position myself that I do not owe, I don't have to pay. Tax as far as that to give it away. So let's keep it all. So what we do here at MWR Financial, and what I do as far as that part, as far as taxes, we educate individuals so they can find out if they owe or not.
Yes.
That's the education part that we are having now with our Financial Edge University that we have every Thursday night at 8:30, that we are teaching individuals, we're educating individuals and stuff, all about that, as far as you finding out with your situation, how you can position to not owe as much in taxes. We got corporations making billions of dollars paying zero in taxes. So when I look at the situation, we have pastors that's out there that have things structured wrong. Not like they just didn't what? No.
They didn't know.
Basically seek what the word says, seek what? Good counsel. So y'all gonna have to out right now. See, when you seek the good counsel, okay, or what's going on in the find out, and we was talking to you guys, and we showing you right there on documents, hey, wait a minute, this is done incorrectly. Why? Because if you position yourself, you should not owe.
Right.
So now if you should not owe, let's make these changes so you can keep more money into your household. So now you can do good work.
Yeah. The Lord says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. The proverb says, above all things, get wisdom, but get an understanding. And so once we get an understanding of how money works and how we can keep more money in our pockets, then we can be found faithful over few things. Then God can put more into our hands. He says, if you're faithful over the few, then I'll make you ruler over many. Many folk want to be ruler over many, but they ain't got the few now. They don't have that down. They don't have the simple thing down. They don't have the basics down. And one of the great things about having such a great company behind us is like we said, I'm just reiterating on what we said earlier. You have the experts there to help you. So you don't have to do all the work yourself. Even me being involved in the business as a clergy, I'm not the expert, but I can point my fellow clergymen and other entrepreneurs to the experts to get the advice that they need to help them.
That's right. That's right. And after you actually said the good thing, being faithful over few and stuff, and then how much. And again, I love to go all the way back when we talk about money and we talk about the church. It's all about the stewardship. And I used to always actually do that thing of, I can remember when I was a little boy, okay, Henderson, North Carolina, growing up, mama send you to the store down the street, right? Mama send you to the store down the street to pick up certain things, right? She gonna pick you up some bread, some that, and she give you that dollar. She give you that dollar, go down the store. When she give you that dollar, go down the store. What does she always tell you? Bring my change back, right? She said,
bring my change back.
And then we go to the store, we get it done. Now, Lord knows, I looked over there and I saw that nice big oatmeal raisin cookie, because it was only like 2 cents to 5 cents back then, right? The big old cookie. I touched that cookie because I knew that was mama money, and mama got back. She wanted her change back. If I would have spent mama's money to getting some things that I wanted, I desire, right? And came back with less, I knew I was going to get in trouble. Sometimes we're not fearing God enough with his money.
Come on now.
Using his money any old kind of way, not being faithful of it. Because that's what faithful is all about. Are you trustworthy with the money? That's what it's about. Are you trustworthy?
So true.
That's so true. Trustworthy with the money, you are out of order there. Because if I was going to get a cookie, I had to do what? Ask mama. Mama, can I get the cookie? Okay. This kind of, that's why she told us also going to grocery store. She said, don't ask for nothing, don't touch nothing, you ain't getting that. Right? It was instruction I had with the money. We got to start thinking about those terms. We got to start thinking about, if I'm making X amount of dollars, working X amount of hours, if I'm on hourly, I'm blessed to have that job. And I'm blessed to have that job. He gave me that job. Now we got to be good stewards and be faithful, just like you said, Pastor, over what we have. So we have this. That's the growth.
Yeah.
That's the growth.
Yeah.
Certain things that's going to come out automatically. That's going to come out of that. But we have to look at that. What can I do to keep more of the money so it can be used? Can I be faithful over this and not misuse it? Okay.
Yeah. And another thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Another thing with a lot of pastors, young pastors who just starting out in ministry or maybe been in the ministry for, because we've been in the ministry about 15 years and we do own property. You know, we're paying a mortgage and we hope to, within the next couple of years, do programs like MWR, be able to pay that mortgage off. But a lot of times they can't get properties because they've been mismanaging God's funds. And so you have to be able to look good on paper. When you look good on paper, then, you know, a bank can look at you and say, okay, they're being good stewards, and now I can sell them property. Now, another thing too is if you have a small property, like we have a small property, but at least we got to, pastors got to get in the game. They got to get in the money game. They got to understand how money works so that if they're a small church and they're looking to expand and looking to grow, that when they look good on paper, as their ministry grows, then they can, you know, maybe get larger facilities because, you know how God's vision is. God's vision is vast, you know, and sometimes the vision of God can't be, you know, contained in the four walls of a small church. And so we as pastors and clergy, we want to expand our ministry. We want to expand the kingdom, but you can't expand the kingdom if you're not faithful in your finances.
Exactly. You have to know the finances, and, you know, pastors have been gifted and anointed to actually preach the word and doing things in nature. That's why in the story it says, yes, do seek good counsel. And then once you hear it, you know, you have to actually bring it on, but you have to have a vision that it does go beyond those walls. Okay. And does beyond the walls and of ownership, and then have the true meaning to actually say, you know what, my people in the congregation are the true church anyway.
Yes.
So I have to help the people. If I help the people, I'm not worried about the building.
Right.
Okay. If I have the church, I'm not worried about the building. Okay. Of that one thing that this pandemic has actually done, it actually realized God is still God, whether you at home or not. Okay. Whether you're at home, the building is still actually there. So it's on the outside of it. Am I still affecting the actually people? So even the pastors, is our responsibility as preaching the word is we got to actually, and we talk about stewardship and all this, we have to basically take this to the congregation because they are the church.
Right.
We have to deal with where they are, and then it goes actually from there with good counsel, okay? And basically being able to actually do the things that God has helped them. There's so many ministries that God is trying to birth within so many of the members in the church. They're birth, but because of past things that may have happened to them, they're not knowing, they're stopped. Their credit may stop them. The debt may be stopping them. They can't they can't do all of those things. And individuals need help to be able to help them so things can be birthed. You know,
that is so true.
Can be birthed as far as doing it. And that's why I like what Mr. House has actually put together, because regardless of what we know, yes, we can pray, but we're going to still need finances. We're going to need finances. We're going to need certain things to be able to do that, to be able to get there. You might not need to just save something. You might need to make something as well. So
come on now.
I bet you that, you know, church is saying, hey, pastors got to be open enough to actually say, you know what? We got to do some new things to help everybody. We got to understand some things that actually help everybody and stuff so that we can actually do more work.
And, you know, as leaders, that was very well put. You know, as leaders, we are held to a higher standard of accountability because our parishioners, they're looking towards us, you know, not to be the experts in money, but they're giving their tithes and their offerings. They want to make sure that we're managing what they sow into the ministry, not seeing it so much as on the pastor's backs. And I'm not saying a servant isn't worthy of his hire, but what I'm saying is, if we say that we're going to get a baptism pool, if we say we're going to get the church fixed up, if we say we're moving into a building, then they need to see some fruit. They need to see some proof that, okay, I'm going to this ministry, but I have full confidence that my leaders are sound when it comes to business practices. And if they are not sound, they have, you know, something in place, a company in place to be able to advise them. So when I sold my money, I'm not looking around worrying about whether or not it's going to be used, wisely, because my leaders, they use wisdom in the management of the finances.
Exactly. And exactly what we did for you, exactly what we did for you. A lot of churches don't actually realize that when we say, hey, let's structure this thing for this type of housing allowance, this type of this and that, so that a portion of your monies is what? Tax-free, right?
Yeah.
See, when you have taxable income, even yourself, and when the church is paying the pastor, the church still have to pay that Social Security Medicare match. So you pay 7.65%, the church got to pay that 7.65% to match. However, if a portion of that is tax-free in housing, you don't pay it, and the church don't pay it.
Yeah, that's a blessing.
We save the church money as far as doing that as well. So it's all about, okay, you do this, but the pastor, the church get blessed. It's all about actually seeing what is there that you can do. What is there that you actually can do and stuff, because our pastors need to actually save money. Okay. Pastors need to actually save money, and our pastors need to be able to properly retire as well. Most of our churches have income.
Yeah, you hit that on the nail, Doc. Go ahead.
Yeah, right.
I got my AARP card now.
You do,
and it's almost that time. So got to get my act together. I don't have the PRA yet, but me and Bunmi and Dr. Darrell, we've been talking about that, and that's coming. So all those pastors out there that need, they got your AARP card, and it's almost time for you to retire. You want to be able to have something when you're never through the work of the Lord, but as you get older, you should have a Joshua or someone that's able to pick up the reins and move forward with the ministry. So we're looking forward to the
you're not all of that as well. And 70 and plus and still behind the pulpit every single Sunday because you got bills. Now, if you can do that, you're doing great. But you want to be there because you want to be there, not because you have to be there. And
come on,
sometimes is to be able to work in a church. Hey, now the church has to have enough money sometimes if they want to fund a retirement for the pastor. But a lot of churches don't have enough money to fund it for the pastor because of what we were talking about. Only 20% of the ones that to hold that church in. And the pastors have this. We got to see our pastors putting on part-time jobs and doing this and doing this and doing that just to save enough money to position themselves to retire as well. And anytime you take the pastor away from being able to have that one-on-one with God to bring the word, I don't want my pastor to have to do something else. I want them focused on bringing the word so I can listen to it on Sunday. So distracting the pastor is over there. So I'm like, hey, no, let's work with the pastors. Let's help the pastors so they can do what God has called them to do. Ultimately,
that's good.
Focus on there to bring the word, but then let's protect the man of God as well. Let's have it so they're not worried about not just them retiring, but their family retirement. They're not worried about the life insurance for their family. They're not worried about the first lady. You know what I'm saying? If something happens, that they got something else. If something happens to them and they can't hook up. All of that comes in a whole package of financing, about knowing more about money. We got to title this "Know More About Money for the Church" because it's all right. Because
well, I'm so glad that you guys were able and free to be able to do this live with me. I'm just ecstatic, excited, and I think every pastor that I know across America, if you don't have some type of plan in place, or a company like MWR, I think we need to just get this live out to all of them, to let them know, for those who've been afraid, who didn't know who to talk to, maybe you've been getting wrong advice, talking to companies that haven't. I know before we got with MWR, we had tax advisors, and my wife and I were getting frustrated because they weren't helping us. They weren't really showing us where we could benefit and how we could benefit. But once we came to MWR, we met Terrence, and he, we got on the phone with him. We got excited. We like, look, these other guys, I'm sorry, y'all, we got to fire y'all. Y'all gone. Y'all out the door, out the window. Okay, now we affectionately call him T-Hawk. We got T-Hawk. He's on the case, and we know that things are looking pretty good these days. So I'm going to refer all of my clergy friends to MWR and the services. And I believe that a lot of other pastors, who've been wanting to have this conversation, don't know where to turn, now have a vehicle that they can turn to get blessed. So
Awesome.
we need to get the word out.
Yeah, I encourage all of them to get with you, get in contact with you, however to get in contact with you. You can share your story, what we actually do, and then actually we can come from there. But we look forward to helping anybody after you refer to us in a big way.
Great.
Thank you guys so much. Dr. Darrell, we hadn't heard from you. You want to say something?
Yes. Just want to thank Terrence, an IRS enrolled agent, guys. If you don't understand what that means, that's the highest level of knowing what's going on with your taxes and your money there. Don't worry that you done had somebody for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. It's all right to get somebody else that may know more and be better. Most people say, I can't afford a guy like that, IRS enrolled agent. He can do stuff all over the country. But with us, you can afford it. And you want to look what he did for Pastor Barbara. Look what he did for that, bringing money from the IRS, money that he would not been able to get, and the time limit would have been over because they can only go back 3 years. I mean, just understand what you don't understand. Understand if you have a retirement, your wife or somebody else has a job retirement. Is that enough? And don't even speak about the clergy that don't have any retirement and wonder, what am I going to do? What am I going to do when it's time for me to step down? Maybe something might happen. Understand you want to start now, sooner than later. You might not have enough. You might want to live a lifestyle that your retirement now will not allow you to do. We have the answer. Just check it. Check out what's going on. It won't cost you a thing to check out what's going on and find out what you can do for your church, for your individuals. You owe it to yourself, you owe it to your church, you owe it to your members to have a better way so you can keep more money in the church in your pocket.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Miss Moore and Mr. Buck, thank you guys for inviting me on. Y'all know anytime I get to talk about tax or money or finance and stuff, seem like I live here at the office anyway.
Yeah.
We know you got a bed on the side of the office there somewhere. You got your bed.
Yeah.
This man is dedicated to his work. He sleeps and eats and everything else. The business of helping people.
Yeah.
Yes, he does. He does.
You guys are such great leaders. I mean, I was just excited all day. Even though I had to preach today, I told my wife, I said I have a meeting with Dr. Darrell Terrence and Bunmi. And so I'm just so glad. I'm glad that we were able to do this. We've been trying to do it for a couple of days, and I know we all had some different things going on. So I'm very humble, and I just want to thank you guys for taking the time to, hear my story.
Awesome.
Well, it's our pleasure to be here. And for those of you who come across this video, I would ask that you show it some love, meaning give us a heart, give us a thumbs up, but most importantly, tag a pastor that you know. Share this video. Put this in your pastor's inbox. Put this in an inbox of a church leader. Put this in the inbox of a ministry leader. This is not information you just listen to and say, oh, that was good. No, this is all about application. It's education, application. So we're in a time, right, in society where people are taking action. People are no longer just sitting back, but they are rising up. And it's time for us to rise up in our finances. It's time for us to rise up and take action. And I love what Dr. KB said. It's not about us going to school, getting degrees ourselves. It's simple. It's about Terrence has the expertise. The credit experts are there. The wealth accumulation experts are there. The debt experts are there. Just point people to the experts. Turnkey operation. Point people to the experts. This is it's such a blessing, Dr. KB, because you and I both know that if you had gone to someone of Terrence's caliber to get done what you got done, you would have paid thousands of dollars. Everything that we have access would cost thousands of dollars if it were not in this model. But now here we're talking about a little over $2 a day. What? Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Right?
That's good stuff.
$2 a day to save and accumulate potentially millions for your ministry so that you can do the work of God and empower the people in the pew. So this information can help church leader, but a healthy church or healthy ministry comes from a healthy congregation. So we got two things going on here. We got some great things for church leaders, like you deserve to, pay less in taxes, like Dr. KB. You deserve to have a great retirement, but also your church members deserve to have a financial abundance amongst them too. And so if the people in the pew have great credit, if they are turning their debts into wealth, if they have access to financial experts, so they're financially healthy, that ministry is going to prosper. So we're doing a great work, guys. So help us to spread this word. So Pastor KB, are there any last closing words? I want you to, give your number. I know people are going to be sharing this video, and if somebody shared this video with you, great. You can get back with them. But we're here to celebrate what Terrence has helped Dr. KB and his wife do in that ministry. So give your number for us, Dr. KB, and give us any last closing words that you have.
Okay. My number is area code 443-525-0286. And I'm available most of the time during the day. You can reach me sometime in the evening, and I'll be more than glad to point you to these experts to get you the help that you need. Just remember that MWR is a very solid company. The partners here at MWR have been in business for over 20 some years, 25 plus years, and helping hundreds of thousands of people restore their credit, also removing erroneous things off of their credit report, bankruptcies, all kind of late payments. And so this is a full solutions financial company. I stand behind it with my whole heart as a clergy, and I'm excited about it. My wife is excited about it. We've seen certain things that have been able to be done. Me and Terrence, not too long ago, we counseled with one clergy because, sometimes, like you say, clergies have to do other things, who was actually had a tax business, a small tax business, and Terrence was able to give him expert advice, let him know that he can tell his members to get a home-based business. And if the members got the home-based business, they could do what is called a Schedule 20, showing them ways where they could actually save money. And, that's just invaluable. And so, again, I thank you guys. We're looking forward to helping a lot of churches across the country.
Give that number one more time, Dr. KB.
Okay. My number is area code 443-525-0286. Thank you very much.
All right. Well, thank you. We've had a great conversation sparked by that awesome testimony of Dr. KB, facilitated by that awesome financial knowledge of Terrence Hawkins. So thank you so much, Terrence. And I know that you will come back, because I know we're going to have more and more testimonies. So thank you for your time. Thank you, Dr. KB.
Thank you, guys.
And we are officially over. See you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.
I see you guys.
Stay tuned, guys. Stay tuned. We'll be back.
Okay.